Guess the vehicle.
Car.
Guess the vehicle.
Bus.
Guess the vehicle.
Truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Bicycle.
Guess the vehicle.
Motorcycle.
Guess the vehicle.
Scooter.
Guess the vehicle.
Van.
Guess the vehicle.
Taxi.
Guess the vehicle.
Ambulance.
Guess the vehicle.
Fire truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Police car.
Guess the vehicle.
Train.
Guess the vehicle.
Tram.
Guess the vehicle.
Subway.
Guess the vehicle.
Helicopter.
Guess the vehicle.
Airplane.
Guess the vehicle.
Jet.
Guess the vehicle.
Boat.
Guess the vehicle.
Ship.
Guess the vehicle.
Yacht.
Guess the vehicle.
Canoe.
Guess the vehicle.
Sailboat.
Guess the vehicle.
Hot air balloon.
Guess the vehicle.
Cable car.
Guess the vehicle.
Monorail.
Guess the vehicle.
Hovercraft.
Guess the vehicle.
Spaceship.
Guess the vehicle.
Space shuttle.
Guess the vehicle.
Rickshaw.
Guess the vehicle.
Auto rickshaw.
Guess the vehicle.
Electric scooter.
Guess the vehicle.
Skateboard.
Guess the vehicle.
Roller skates.
Guess the vehicle.
Segway.
Guess the vehicle.
Snowmobile.
Guess the vehicle.
Tractor.
Guess the vehicle.
Bulldozer.
Guess the vehicle.
Crane.
Guess the vehicle.
Forklift.
Guess the vehicle.
Dump truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Tank.
Guess the vehicle.
Military jeep.
Guess the vehicle.
Limousine.
Guess the vehicle.
Minibus.
Guess the vehicle.
Golf cart.
Guess the vehicle.
Jet ski.
Guess the vehicle.
Ferry.
Guess the vehicle.
Paddle boat.
Guess the vehicle.
Paraglider.
Guess the vehicle.
Glider.
Guess the vehicle.
Delivery van.
Guess the vehicle.
Cement mixer truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Garbage truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Ice cream truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Fire engine.
Guess the vehicle.
Tuk-tuk.
Guess the vehicle.
Handcart.
Guess the vehicle.
Horse cart.
Guess the vehicle.
Ox cart.
Guess the vehicle.
Dog sled.
Guess the vehicle.
Jetliner.
Guess the vehicle.
Barge.
Guess the vehicle.
Tugboat.
Guess the vehicle.
Fishing boat.
Guess the vehicle.
Pontoon boat.
Guess the vehicle.
Catamaran.
Guess the vehicle.
Speedboat.
Guess the vehicle.
Banana boat.
Guess the vehicle.
Raft.
Guess the vehicle.
Gondola.
Guess the vehicle.
Oil tanker truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Logging truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Livestock truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Box truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Flatbed truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Tow truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Camper van.
Guess the vehicle.
Motorhome.
Guess the vehicle.
RV.
Guess the vehicle.
School bus.
Guess the vehicle.
Armored truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Antique car.
Guess the vehicle.
Convertible car.
Guess the vehicle.
Coupe.
Guess the vehicle.
Hatchback.
Guess the vehicle.
Sedan.
Guess the vehicle.
SUV.
Guess the vehicle.
Pickup truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Monster truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Lorry.
Guess the vehicle.
Jet fighter.
Guess the vehicle.
Glider plane.
Guess the vehicle.
Seaplane.
Guess the vehicle.
Propeller plane.
Guess the vehicle.
Hang glider.
Guess the vehicle.
Military helicopter.
Guess the vehicle.
Rescue helicopter.
Guess the vehicle.
Drone.
Guess the vehicle.
Space capsule.
Guess the vehicle.
Lunar rover.
Guess the vehicle.
Mars rover.
Guess the vehicle.
Jetpack.
Guess the vehicle.
Bobsled.
Guess the vehicle.
Ice resurfacer.
Guess the vehicle.
Cableway.
Guess the vehicle.
Chairlift.
Guess the vehicle.
Dog cart.
Guess the vehicle.
Horse-drawn carriage.
Guess the vehicle.
Electric bus.
Guess the vehicle.
Hydrogen car.
Guess the vehicle.
Hybrid car.
Guess the vehicle.
Solar car.
Guess the vehicle.
Electric bicycle.
Guess the vehicle.
Unicycle.
Guess the vehicle.
Tandem bicycle.
Guess the vehicle.
Tricycle.
Guess the vehicle.
Baby stroller.
Guess the vehicle.
Wheelchair.
Guess the vehicle.
Shopping cart.
Guess the vehicle.
Luge.
Guess the vehicle.
Go-kart.
Guess the vehicle.
Racing car.
Guess the vehicle.
Formula One car.
Guess the vehicle.
Dirt bike.
Guess the vehicle.
Mountain bike.
Guess the vehicle.
Cruiser bike.
Guess the vehicle.
Moped.
Guess the vehicle.
Sidecar motorcycle.
Guess the vehicle.
Jet-powered car.
Guess the vehicle.
Amphibious vehicle.
Guess the vehicle.
Snowplow.
Guess the vehicle.
Road roller.
Guess the vehicle.
Concrete pump truck.
Guess the vehicle.
Cherry picker.
Guess the vehicle.
Street sweeper.
Guess the vehicle.
Tunnel boring machine.
Guess the vehicle.
Road grader.
Guess the vehicle.
Water tanker.
Guess the vehicle.
Fireboat.
Guess the vehicle.
Icebreaker ship.
Guess the vehicle.
Cargo ship.
Guess the vehicle.
Container ship.
Guess the vehicle.
Submarine.
Guess the vehicle.
Navy ship.
Guess the vehicle.
Research vessel.
Guess the vehicle.
Cruise ship.
Guess the vehicle.
Aircraft carrier.
Guess the vehicle.
Blimp.
Guess the vehicle.
Zeppelin.
Guess the vehicle.
Flying car.